What's up, everybody? This is Jarrett from Bowling for Soup.
Hey, this is Samuel as well. How are you guys doing?
Hi, this is Frank Turner.
And I am Mega Ran.
And you are lucky enough to be listening to Upside Down Shark Radio.
Yeah, be ups and down. Don't worry about it.
Welcome to Upside Down Shark podcast number 69.
This is a special one. This is because me and Dobbie are doing it.
No Tom, no Craig, just us boys.
Yeah, Tom is in America, and Craig is not here.
Incapacitated.
He is just not here. We are also in sunny America, aren't we, Dobbie?
Yes, we're here in Los Santos.
Yes. We figured for episode 69... Oh, go away, Tony. Leave me alone. Sorry, I should have put my phone on silent.
Oh, decided you're driving my car, have you?
I'm sorry. Well, it's a Sunday drive.
Okay.
And, we've got a lot to get through this week, so...
Before we go anywhere, you can find us at all the good places. You can find us at Upside Down Shark on Facebook, I think. You can find us at...
UDS Radio, at UDS Radio on Twitter, I believe.
That's correct. You can also listen to us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts.
Stitcher.
There's the other one, Stitcher. Is that Stitcher?
Yeah.
We're on Spotify now, I think. You can find us at all those places.
We're in all
and
kinds
YouTube,
of places.
YouTube too, yeah.
Yeah, which is primarily going to be helpful for watching, or, viewing this episode.
We'll tell you straight off the bat, episode 69 is very much going to be a visual feast.
We apologise to any audio listeners because I feel like you may miss out on a lot of things that are going to happen.
And if you hear any noises whilst listening to the audio version that you can't quite understand, we're not going to explain them.
No, we're just on a Sunday drive, a regular old Sunday drive, just chatting about the week gone past.
So
Dobby,
let's
you
do
are
that,
driving.
shall we? I know, but we're at a
Okay.
stop sign.
Oh, we're also on the pavement. Off the bat, guys, Dobby does not have a driving license, so...
In real life or in Los Santos.
Especially an American one, they drive way differently in America.
How are we doing this? We sticking to the laws of the road, or...?
Of course we are. We're law-abiding citizens until everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a great horn you have there.
I forgot I had this one.
Uh,
That is
so-
great for us, isn't it?
First thing this week.
There's been something of a collision in front of us already.
Okay, well, we're just gonna have to let everyone go on with their lives, If they don't want to stop, they don't want to stop. This week, movies. You like movies?
I love some movies.
That light was still red.
We'd been sitting there like a
You
good minute.
wait your turn, and it's red again. You got another red light.
The laws in America are if it's clear you can go.
That's
no?
true. Only if it's right. As you turn in
Right turn, yeah.
which
Right,
we did on
we'll
that
just
last
make-
one. So
we'll
it's
just
green,
keep
and it's
making-
green now, but you're
Alright,
stopping.
alright! Okay, sorry.
Alright, it's fine. Don't worry.
It's okay, just teething problems.
So, you hear any good movie news?
You know what, I did hear some good movie news.
Yeah.
It's a potentially a little bit old now, but James Gunn has been hired back to direct and oversee the entirety of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Oh, and that's one of those things that people weren't necessarily expecting to happen. A lot of people, I don't know if they petitioned for it, but were very vocal about it.
There was a really big... I can't remember how many signatures it got. It got a lot of signatures. But yeah, I admit, I never thought it was going to happen. It took so long. But I also sort of had that thing in the back of my head that the longer it takes, the more likely it is to happen. What's this guy doing?
And lane split. What is... Well, technically.
Yeah. But no, I'm very glad he's back. I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy without him, even if they had been using his script, just, wouldn't be the same.
At
He
this
does
point-
the soundtrack and everything.
Yeah, like, he's done the first two films. I'm not a major fan of them. I've only seen the first one, actually. I think it's alright.
Yeah.
It's an alright film.
The second one's basically more of the same, really.
And I know a lot of people
I don't
liked it.
I don't mean to make it sound bad, because I really love it still. But if I were to pick from the two, it's a tough call. I think the first one's still my favourite of the two.
But yeah, so basically he's on to write the... Is he right? I guess he's directing. He's doing everything again.
He's
isn't he?
directing, yeah. He'd already written it, and they were going to use his script regardless, but...
Yeah, well, because he got brought on for the new Suicide Squad film as well, didn't he?
He did
The
indeed,
Suicide
yeah.
Squad.
Which has also been come out this last week or so. Like, it's a full-on reboot and not a sequel.
Which, how and why?
God knows. Literally, God knows. They were talking about, because Will Smith's not coming back, and apparently Margot Robbie might not be coming back either. But
So-
they were talking about getting Idris Elba to replace Will Smith. Although if it's a reboot, it's not really replacing, is it, as such?
No.
It's just, casting.
If it was a reboot, Will Smith wouldn't be back anyway, in theory.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I guess that's a bit of positive news there.
Bit of
Film-wise,
positive news. Have
like,
we got any negative movie news?
No, not really.
Not really.
Other thing on the docket was Bill and Ted 3 was announced.
Oh yeah, now a lot of people have been very excited about this week. I'd say overexcited. That's because I've not watched the films and I don't really, it's not. It seems to me a lot of people suddenly love this film out of nowhere when no one really talks about it.
Oh,
like
really?
this franchise, really.
I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of people really like those. It's just been so long since the last one, so that no one really cared if there was going to be a third one or not. I think people are happy there will be a third one, but
Do you reckon it'll be any good?
I don't know, because I also haven't seen the first and the second
This
one.
it smacks to me of like Dumb and Dumber 2 and these other belated comedy sequels you get nowadays.
I think they're a bit more nuanced than Dumb and Dumber, to be fair. But there's another film that I assume is like Bill and Ted. That
Harold and Kumar.
no, I don't think they're quite the same thing.
It's just the naming, the titling.
Oh, I see.
very
Yeah, I see
similar.
what you're saying. Actually, no, there's kind of Wayne's World, Agent 14. Go away.
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. I always kind of like bundled Bill and Ted and Wayne's World together.
But Bill and Ted like a skit before they were a movie, or are they just straight into the movie?
I think they'll just straight into the movie because I don't think Keanu Reeves is on a sketch show or anything, was he?
Not as far as I know. I mean, he doesn't strike me as a comedy actor.
I can't remember who the other guy with him is.
It's just one of those guys who only ever seems to appear in sequels because he's needed.
What, like Bill and Ted 2 and 3?
Yeah.
I don't know what else. Literally,
God, like, it's like,
could
what's
look
the
it up.
guy in Dumb and Dumber 2 guy? Or in Dumb and Dumber 1?
Dumb
Jeff
and-
something.
Yeah, Jeff Daniels.
I feel like he's not in a lot outside.
He was but he was in The Newsroom, which is like the complete opposite of Dumb and
proper
Dumber.
serious, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's about a newsroom, but he plays like a really fast-talking, really smart Alec guy. Who wrote that one? Was it Aaron Sorkin?
Yeah, Sorkin.
And he's like, famous for all those sort of really speech-heavy type films
Dialogue
and shows.
shows,
Yeah. But yeah, I've seen Dumb and Dumber 1. I didn't get the appeal, but I guess you had to be though when it came out, maybe.
Dumb and Dumber 1, when I was a kid, I mean, it's it's slapstick, isn't it? It's Jim Carrey and just idiots. So when I was a kid, it was great. And having watched it in lead up to Dumb and Dumber 2, I was like,
God.
I did not enjoy this at all.
What
So
are you doing?
this is just what you have to do when you're on this stretch of road.
Jesus Christ, someone's gonna have to fix all that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'll find that magically next time we come around, it will have been done.
Oh, things move fast in Los Santos.
You do. I don't know how long a day in Los Santos is compared to a typical day in the real world.
I'd like to point out I'm very impressed because we got this far without having a collision.
It's strange how good at this game I can be when not got random people to contend with.
In other, it's not film news, but talking about film. You watched
Yeah.
Terminator 2 yesterday. We watched Spice World movie yesterday.
We did watch both of those films yesterday.
Both
yes.
pretty good films, completely different reasons.
Very, very different reasons.
But yeah, I can't think of anything else I've watched. Beetlejuice, I watched that again. I'm always watching Beetlejuice. I even
I've not
mentioned
really-
that in my comic this week. So
Aside from Captain Marvel at the cinema, 2 weeks ago now, I've not watched many films lately. I've been rewatching The Office, the American Office, and really loving it because I'd gone out of my way not to watch it for like 2 years,
Oh.
so I'm really appreciating it all again.
that's cool.
I'm just starting season 8 tonight, in fact, and when it comes to the US Office, I mean, Steve Carell leaves at the end of season 7, so people come to season 8 and 9 and they're like, oh, this isn't as good. And I don't
Idris
agree with
Elba
that
was
at
in
all. Sorry?
Idris Elba was in that.
He was, yeah, and I always forget about it. He was in season 5.
Oh, I thought he was in the late.
Yeah, season 8 and 9. I mean, the thing for me is, by that point, you've had 7 years in the company of the rest of the ensemble.
Mhm.
So if you're not enjoying it just because Steve Carell's gone, I don't think, I
Like
don't
he's
think
one
that's
person. I mean, I know he's like
one person.
basically the
He's
main
obviously
character. Like,
a big person. But,
yeah.
I mean, people rarely call Michael Scott their favourite character. It's always Dwight or Jim or, someone else. Kevin. Ham, did you say?
Pam.
Oh, Pam. Sorry.
Pam.
Or Kevin, or like Creed or something. People rarely say Michael Scott is my favourite, so it's all good. So it's weird to me. I mean, the dichotomy between the characters is obviously a little bit different, but I might write about this for UDS in a
Hey,
few weeks.
go away! Why are all these people calling me? I'm never this popular.
So keep an eye on the UDS website for my take on why seasons 8 and 9 of The Office are actually pretty good. It probably
Are you
won't be
sure
for a month or so yet.
I was gonna say, you sure you want to say that? Because last time you said that on a podcast, you were like, "Why did I say that? No, I have to do it."
No. Yeah. Well, the thing is that article actually turned out pretty good in the end. Much as I wasn't particularly excited to write it when I came to it. No, I am excited. Watching The Office sort of with this in mind the whole time, so I've got a good idea what I'm going to write about.
Kind of in other TV news this week, they announced the date that Neon Genesis Evangelion is going to be up on Netflix. And
Ooh,
I thought it was...
done that?
No, I thought it was going to be... I'm sure they said it was going to be April. But they did like a teaser trailer thing this week, some point this week. I haven't watched it, but I just, I've heard all of the people talking about it, and it's going to be... Ron, come on, man. It's going to be up on Netflix June 21st.
June 21st? Oh,
yeah,
miles away.
so
Then.
summer solstice.
Is it coming with several different animes, or is it coming on its own?
I don't know, actually. So, because there's like a bunch of different entities in the Evangelion franchise, like they're bringing out the series and then 2 of the movies that accompanied the series after that finished.
Right.
But then there's 3 movies that came out in the last 10 years that I don't think are going to be on the service, but they also announced that they didn't announce, but it sounds like the original dub of the English version isn't going to be available, which sucks because
so it's just coming subbed.
It will be subbed, but it's going to be they're going to redo the dub with new actors. Which, I mean, if I'm watching Evangelion, most of the time I'm watching it with the dub. 1, because I'm lazy, and 2, because that was the first way I watched it, because that was the only way I had it, and I like the voices. I know it's not a great dub of the show, and it could use some work, but it's kind of iconic now. Those people are the characters.
Yeah, it would be weird if Pokemon was redubbed and Ash was suddenly, a very different sound individual. That's really strange. Yeah.
They did it with Sailor Moon a couple of years ago when the new Sailor Moon series aired, and they had the old show from the 90s, and they just redid the dub of that, and it's not good. Like the 90s one, despite being really terrible, is significantly better, just because it's funny, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek in some respects. Yeah, I don't know. I was just a little bit disappointed in that.
Is it because of bad voice acting, or?
Kind of. Voice acting's come a long way, and
I think in a lot of ways voice acting's much better nowadays, but because people are perhaps going into it more trained for it rather than just, doing voices, as I suppose would have been the way back in the day. I think it can lose when they're acting a character.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Especially, it depends, on the show as well. The script is the main issue, I think. The big barrier between whether a dub is eventually going to be good either way.
Yeah, I've just been jumping all these red lights.
That's okay, I've been ignoring it. I've just been letting it slide. Do you want to go to the airport?
Yeah, why not?
Let's go to the airport.
What is happening here? Ooh.
Oh, blimey. Gaming news. I don't really think much has happened this week. Google's Stadia got announced, Google's game streaming service.
Yeah, I have no real opinion on that, I'll be honest.
I'm probably never going to use it unless I hear really good things a couple of years after it's come out.
Yeah.
It seems like one of those things. I've already heard kind of like disappointing things in it because the
Google-
streaming doesn't seem to work
Yeah.
for games as much at the moment.
I think Google have a history of announcing these things and then them coming out and people just really not caring. I remember
Yeah.
thinking back to like Google Glass, for example.
Yeah, I saw a list of stuff like that, like Google Glass, Google Plus, which eventually got canned.
Yeah.
Like, I think the biggest success they really had was Chrome, I guess. Do people
Yeah, I
use
guess so, actually.
Chromebooks? Like, are Chromebooks still selling well?
Probably.
I think they still make them, don't they? So
I
they
don't
must
know
be
if I've
doing
ever met anyone who owns a Chromebook.
No, same.
I say that, probably Tom or Craig.
I guarantee Craig has one.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, Craig's probably got like 4.
No, probably. Yeah, it's total Craig to have 4
That's-
Chromebooks.
Yeah, just like that movie, Total Craig. That's like Total Recall. Go cut that joke.
Yeah, thanks.
But yeah, I think they showed it running Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Is that a new one?
Yeah, and people seemed kind of semi-impressed with it and like not disappointed, but like they weren't expecting anything, so
Just not
they
particularly
weren't really
overjoyed,
annoyed by it either. Yeah, but it seemed to run fine. But that was on.
It would do. It would do at a presentation, to be fair.
Yeah, but that was running off the convention centre's Wi-Fi apparently, which is kind of impressive.
That is
like,
impressive, considering the amount of people who'd have been there.
Yeah. But yeah, otherwise, I don't know what Tom or Craig would have to say about the Stadia. Maybe they'd have like more of like a positive future mentality about like, oh, it'll be great in a few years, I reckon. But I don't know. I can't imagine it taking off. Not quite. I think, as far as that thing goes, so Microsoft is supposedly announcing their dickless, as Tom called it, Xbox One S at some point in the next month. And I think that's probably the way to go at the moment.
I'd be more inclined to stick with a, known brand for the start.
I know it's not streaming, but like, it's download only.
Yeah.
Games are on the console at that point. But then again, the PSP Go was a complete flop, and that was download only. No carts
was
allowed.
it?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
And then the Vita, that had carts, and then that just completely flopped. So
Yeah.
who knows anymore? Who knows what's going to happen? It's so unpredictable.
I feel like a streaming future for most things is probably inevitable, but for gaming, it feels particularly weird. Certainly when it comes to, if I were to go for something like Skyrim, a game that could be so open-ended and is such a big game, I feel like there's probably going to be some,
there's going to be
major
some
teething
drawbacks.
issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drawback. Skyrim, which kind of notoriously never ran spectacularly anyway. But even games that are coming out in the future, we're supposed to be getting like the next set of consoles in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
People have been talking about Death Stranding, the Kojima's new game.
Oh yeah.
And whether that's going to come out on the PS5 or whatever, and I guarantee that will be an intense, graphically and hardware intense. And I can't imagine that running on a streaming software. A streaming service. But yeah, like I said, unpredictable. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
I think it's time for track of the week. You reckon?
I think, yes.
Good. Glad you agree.
And tell me, what is track of the week?
This week, we've got Sertraline with a new single, Relapse. So, Sertraline, they're back with a blast. They're from Leeds and Manchester. They're a 5-piece band. And they're presenting their new single, Relapse. And it's accompanying music video, which won't be displayed here, but that's online. We'll put a link to it in the description.
It'll be in the description, yeah.
Start of the song might catch listeners off guard, but Sertraline have always done their own way. Okay, what's...
Sorry, I had an accent. I also noticed I had a wave that I didn't be following and had been following.
Wait, what? You've been following a car?
No, I'd been following a waypoint.
Oh, a waypoint. Oh, okay.
Sorry,
okay,
Sertraline.
Yeah, Sertraline. They're it's kind of tech metal. I don't know many other bands that play that kind of music. I think earlier you kind of likened it to. I can't remember what
It sounds fairly architecty to me.
That's it. Yeah. So if you're into that, check it out. We're gonna play it now.
It's got a chug, mate. Chug, chug,
You've
chug.
got a chug-a-lug in this song. Well, if you're drinking, chug-a-lug. So here it
Not
goes.
drinking.
Sertraline with their new single, Relapse.
Shake me up, pushed out away. Discover my strength, find the reason why. Caught in obsession, impossible perfection. Blow up this circuit, make me listen. They have control of me, linger like a stain on my conscience. Stepping back 10 years where I don't belong. Saving myself, I better my expectations. Broken in pieces when I give in to temptation. Can't stop the numbers blur, the taste is gone. I'm forgetting how to gain my freedom. I'm the fear of growing out my skin. Take reason why waking up wins. Bite my truth. I am enough. I am enough. Shake me up and help me find a reason why. Saving myself, I better my expectations. Broken in pieces when I give in to temptation. I am enough. I am enough. Slave to myself, I better my expectations. Broken in pieces when I give in to temptation. Broken in pieces when I give in to temptation. Wow, I am enough. I am enough. Shake me up and help me find the reason why.
Hey guys, this is Tom from Upside Down Shark, quite literally on the border between Mexico and America. So what a better place to cross the line with, you know, episode 69? Nice.
Hi, this is Frank Turner, and you are lucky enough to be listening to Upside Down Shark Radio.
And that was Sertraline with their new single, Relapse.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
grand.
good, yeah, it's quite heavy. Like, you know, like you said, it's got the chugger.
Chug, chug, chug.
Yeah, we'll put all the links in the description. You can check them out there. Follow them on Twitter and stuff like that, you know. Check them out, they're cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, so here we are. We're back on the road. We haven't left the road.
We
Nothing
never
went
left the
wrong.
road
Yeah.
whatsoever.
But this is episode 69, and me, Dobbie and I, that's Neale, me, we've been left in charge of this episode, so we're just, you know, having a nice Tuesday cruise, as they call it.
Cruise day.
And we want you to imagine you're just in the back of the car with us, But just in the car.
Here's a tradition I like about Tuesdays. I think of Tuesdays as karaoke Tuesdays. Because,
Just karaoke. Oh, I can't play music though.
No, so we'll leave that up to the imagination of our listeners. Just think of a song and perhaps sing along to it whilst you're listening to us.
You know, we could do a little skit in here. Because like you know how we do when we play games, when we play GTA. You know, we have a good time. We pretend we're a family.
We do pretend we're a family.
Oh!
Oh, well, there we go. That's our life over. Family dead.
I mean, we don't have to. We can just keep moving. We can just keep driving.
Let's do it. We'll do a skit in a minute. I want to talk about Star Trek Discovery briefly.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Because not a lot of people seem to talk about this show. A lot of Star Trek fans don't like it very much.
Sorry. I put the camera on cinematic, and I did. A lorry went straight into my camera.
But yes, back to Star Trek Discovery. A lot of Star Trek fans aren't fans of it, but as far as sci-fi goes, I think it's a really, really good sci-fi show.
Yeah,
I've
heard that it's people like Star Trek fans don't like it because it's not a traditional Star Trek show.
I think the thing, because it used to be Story of the Week for a lot of them, and then you'd have a couple two-parters, which for the most part were some of the best episodes. Certainly when it came to like Next Generation, which is the one I grew up on. Discovery does the thing that most TV shows are doing nowadays, and it goes fully serialized. It's telling one story. But season 1 wasn't particularly great. It was focusing on like the Klingon War, and I think the Klingon stuff really let it down for the most part. Season 2 has had it's kind of a conventional sci-fi storyline. There's someone coming from the future who's trying to stop the apocalypse.
Bill and Ted. That's Bill and Ted.
There it is. But I think it's been done really well, and I think, especially in Season 2, the characters have really come into their own. I really like basically everyone, and for fans of like old Star Trek, Captain Pike, who a lot of people know as Captain Kirk's predecessor on the Enterprise, is in effect the captain of the Starship Discovery.
Is Season 2 the latest season?
Season 2 is what's currently on, yeah.
Okay, right. How do they put it out? Is it up every week, or is it like...
So in America... I can't think what it streams on in America. It might be CBS's... It might just be straight on CBS, or it might be on a CBS streaming platform. Over here, we get it weekly on Netflix.
Ah, right, okay.
But Captain Pike, I think, has been a real breath of fresh air. Unfortunately, it's just been announced that at the end of Season 2, his character won't be recurring anymore, which I guess makes sense for the lore of Star Trek, but I think he's been a really good presence on the show and has found a way to capture that old Star Trek spirit. So if you like sci-fi, and even more if you like Star Trek and perhaps haven't given Discovery a go, do check it out. Just as a side note, before I finish, watch the Orville as well, because the Orville's really good.
Yeah, because I've heard you talk about it. You know, like, it's weird because I've heard really good things about the Orville, but you are practically the only person I know that has watched it.
I know. It's both of these shows. I feel like probably me and my mum are the only people watching it that I know.
What's the Orville one?
That's on Fox.
Okay, does that air over here, or do we have to wait for
Yeah, we can get it on what it's called FX over here, is the Fox channel. But yeah, 9 o'clock on Thursday nights, or I record it and typically watch it Friday morning. But
okay.
That's really good, and that definitely has much more of a typical Star Trek, Next Generation, whatever feel, I think. I mean, obviously it's got Seth MacFarlane. Based on its cast and everything, you probably expect it to be very Family Guy-esque and all, blah. But it's really not. It's got a good heart to it. The characters are great. Sure, the storylines in Orville can be a little bit derivative at times. There's certainly a case to be made that originality is not its focus. But I think if you want something like that, something like Star Trek, that's not necessarily old-fashioned, but more in line with what you're used to, then the Orville's definitely the way to go.
I can't remember what I was going to say now, actually. Oh, that was it. I've always been curious to see, because it got cancelled in the end, I think, but what Seth MacFarlane's Flintstones was going to look like.
Oh, I'd have loved to have seen that. I was really excited about it.
I mean, like, if it was anything like Family Guy or something like that, I think I would have been severely disappointed. But, like, I'm curious. I want to know what kind of angle they were going for with it.
I reckon it would have been a lot more traditional than people would have expected. You know,
Yeah.
I think it obviously would have had a more modern look at it, and it probably would have tackled more modern problems in a Stone Age setting, because that's kind of what Orville's doing. If you know what I
Yeah.
mean, being
Oh,
more. I saw that coming,
God,
I
you
couldn't
be
stop.
careful where you're driving.
Sorry, I'm very sorry. I'm slightly tipsy.
Oh no, it's one of
I'm
those
not.
days.
I'm really not. I had a cider last night for the first time this year, and it's just gone from my head.
Oh, it hasn't left your system.
No. But yeah, I was really excited about potentially seeing that. I think Seth MacFarlane gets a little bit of a bad rap just because he's, you know, connected to Family Guy and American Dad nowadays.
I think, yeah, so Family Guy and American Dad are kind of like creativity now.
Yeah.
Back when
I
they
think
started, I think you know, they were kind of fresh at the time, but now I
Yeah.
don't know what season American Dad's on, but Family Guy's got to be in like nearly 20.
I think it's well into the 20s.
It's
Yeah.
oh, blimey. Okay, yeah. I haven't watched it in years.
I used to get the box sets for like Christmas and birthdays, and I'd watch it then. I never watched it on TV, but I'd watch it then, and I typically enjoy it, but I've not gone back to them ever since, really.
But yeah, there's like a disconnect between him now and his old work, I guess.
He doesn't work. The only work he does on them now is obviously the voicing. I don't
Yeah.
think he writes for it or anything. He just, you know, in the same way that like Matt Groening is just the creator at this point.
Yeah, I don't know what creative.
I don't think he
mean,
ever wrote in the first place, did he?
Maybe the first couple of seasons,
Yeah,
but after that they got like a proper team of writers in, didn't they?
yeah, I believe so.
But can't remember what I was going to say again.
Yeah, the Flintstones. I was really excited about the Flintstones, and we're not going to get to see that now. It's a shame. I think the Flintstones is something that could be updated quite well, in actuality.
Oh, pull over here. Actually, go around this corner. Keep going. Then go left here. Take a left. And then pull over here. I'm going clove shopping.
Very well, I'll wait here, I guess.
Okay. You're not coming in?
Well, alright then, but you didn't close your door, so I'm going to have to close it.
You know, we can talk and shop.
Yeah.
Oh, this
I
place
think-
looks a bit swanky for me.
Something like the Flintstones, there's never really been anything too similar compared to, for example, the Jetsons, which is in the same sort of wheelhouse. But I feel like Futurama does sort of a Jetsons-y thing, but in a much better way.
Oh, that was what I was going to talk about. Yeah, what was... is it Disenchanted, Matt Groening's new show?
Yeah.
I haven't watched that yet, actually. I need to get around to that.
I think you'd really enjoy it. You've loved The Simpsons, but you've not really watched Futurama, am I right in saying
Yeah.
that? Yeah, I think Disenchanted is... Oh, I don't want to say far more Simpsons. I think it's a good mix of the two of them. And I think you'd really enjoy it, honestly.
I will get around to it eventually. I don't know why I put it... I've just been watching... I haven't even watched It's Always Sunny this year. I'm always like on the ball with it. I've watched that so many times up until the new season. Yeah, the last thing I watched on Netflix was James Acaster's repertoire, like his 4-part
Yeah, I
comedy
think
thing.
we get to that.
And that was a good...
Hey,
that
hey,
was...
hey.
Ow! Cool it, man. Ow, why are you,
You punched
punching
me.
me?
You
Ow.
kicked me! Come
Hang
back!
on, no. we gotta be careful here. We're supposed to be professionals.
We are
Yeah!
professionals,
Ow!
professional killers.
No!
Come here.
Don't do it. I'll do it. I'm
Wait,
not
no,
afraid.
that's the big ending. Neil, that's the big ending. No!
Ow, my fist. Alright, that's the big ending. For audio listeners, we aren't going to spoil the big ending, but video watchers might already see it coming. Yeah, repertoire was really funny. I've just gone through a bunch of James
You watched all
Acaster
4 of
stuff.
them?
Yeah, they're only like 50 minutes long each.
Yeah.
So I did it in like about 3 nights because I put it on before I go to bed.
Yeah.
But you can like really sort of trace. If you watch like his older stuff on YouTube, and it wasn't that long ago, I don't think, but you can really sort of see it where he shifted, like in terms of comedy.
Yeah.
And he like really plays up to this persona now of like not being a knob, but he just kind of doesn't care anymore. He used
Yeah.
to just kind of be this typical stand-up comedian, which is like fine, it's funny.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I saw him in 2011, and he was just... I mean, he was a support act for Milton Jones, and he was just, it's just, typical support slot.
But
But,
yeah, Repertoire is really good. I recommend everyone check that out. I know you would really like it, Dobby. I think Craig would really like it as well. And I imagine Tom would. I don't really know what comedy stuff Tom likes. Just ask him about that. But he's
He likes Nirvana the band show.
Oh,
I
he
feel
does
like
like Nirvana
Tom's
the band show.
a little bit in our wheelhouse.
What?
I feel like Tom's a little in our wheelhouse.
Oh yeah. I bet Tom is.
So if he wasn't, he probably is now.
He's definitely spinning our water wheel.
A water wheel. Yeah, no, I've been meaning to get to Repertoire. I might start that this week, actually.
Yeah.
I just watched, as we mentioned, what was it, a week ago, 2 weeks ago? I just watched 5B of Arrested Development.
Oh, of course,
last
yeah.
week.
And I shouted at you for spoilers this week, but I don't, go for
You
it.
did.
I don't care. Like...
In actuality, I really didn't spoil anything. I don't think. But I think it's been over a year. Well, not over a year. It's been about a year since I watched 5A, and I remember when I watched 5A, I was excited about it. I was like, yeah, this is pretty great. Season 5B, I think, as a show, not great, but I think it comes to the last couple of episodes, and if you're watching them as an ending for Arrested Development, I think they work very well. In the time since, I've been thinking about it, there's a couple of things that don't add up. Certainly the final moment of the show is particularly dark in a way that at first when I watched it I thought that's kind of great, I'm happy with it ending like that. Now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, I'm really not sure on that actually. But as an ending for the show, I think it's really good. Considering it's a show about a family who don't necessarily want to be together but keep getting dragged together. It ends in a way that sees the family come together to solve some problems. I don't think that's going to spoil anything.
No, because that's most of the show, to be fair, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think as an ending for the show and as an ending for the family, I think it works really well. I'd probably watch all of Season 5 in one go rather than split it down the middle, though.
We spoke to Craig last night as well, actually, didn't we?
Yeah.
We were all having fun playing Rocket League. That was a good time. I remember him saying, I mean, we haven't played it, but he was saying he didn't enjoy Kingdom Hearts 3. This is like a complete aside. But yeah, I think he got annoyed with some of the BS, as it were.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm kind of not surprised.
It's Kingdom Hearts, isn't
Yeah.
it? There's never going to... I mean, Kingdom Hearts 2 is one of my favourite video games of all time, and I'll happily admit there's stuff in that game that just makes me want to hit my...
Like, yeah, when I played the first one through a couple of years ago again, I just, like, the voice acting, considering... I think, again, it's an issue with the script. It's not... who did the voice? Was it Haley Joel Osment?
Thesora?
Yeah. Was that
Not sure. I know there was a singer who... Or, I don't know if he was a singer, it's Jesse something, I think, who did Roxas.
Oh, okay, no, I can't remember then.
I don't think it was Haley Joel Osment for Sora.
But
I might be completely wrong.
My issue with the first game after, like, coming back 15 years later is, like, the script and the, like, the... Go away, Brucey. Oh, Brucey's my favourite GTA 4 character. God damn, I'm going to have to call him back later. He's going to be so mad at me.
Even in the game.
Yeah, the script is so, like, stilted and trash. It's just a trashy game. That's the thing, like...
The gameplay in Kingdom Hearts 1 is atrocious when you've played any of the other ones. Certainly Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 is a much better game in all aspects, even if the story does become very, very unyieldy.
Technically, for what's technically like the next game in the series, even though Chain of Memories came out before it, like, it becomes so convoluted and up its own bum, doesn't it? Like,
yeah, I think the thing, I mean, I've not played Kingdom Hearts 3 yet, but I think the thing is, you could play Kingdom Hearts 2 without having played Chain of Memories easy enough. If you had Chain of Memories, you know, it was all kosher. It's like, yeah, I understand this. When it comes to Kingdom Hearts 3, obviously I've not played it, but I've read a lot of people talking about the story. And if you've not played any of the stuff that's come between, this one just doesn't make sense.
And some people will just say, "Oh, I'm only in it to go through these Disney worlds," but like, all you do is like go through the stories of these Disney movies on a very surface level,
Yeah.
They're cutting out so many like great moments. Or the moments that make the films like really great is the thing.
I mean, it's funny because Craig was talking about the Frozen world. What is it? So, what's Frozen?
Arendelle.
Arendelle, that's right. Craig was talking about it, saying it was his favourite because
Elsa
it
sings,
basically
doesn't she? Yeah.
Elsa sings, and they basically cut songs from the movies. The general reception I've seen online is that the Frozen world is one of the worst. I mean, I watched a game theory from Matt Pat, who is something of a controversial figure, I guess, nowadays.
Yeah.
Some people really don't like him. But I watched a game theory. He was talking about he was talking about the Frozen world and how it's very clear there's a lot of cut content from it. Likely because, as the game came out, Disney wanted to ramp up their advertising for Frozen 2.
Yeah.
And it looks as if Elsa was originally going to be the big bad of the Frozen world of Kingdom Hearts 3,
really?
which I think would have been interesting, but instead it got changed for some... What's the bad
Hang
guy
on.
called in Frozen?
But the bad guy in Frozen.
What's he called?
Oh, I always forget. He's not Hans. He's
Is it Hans, or is it the other one?
no,
I
he's
can't-
Kristoff.
It looks as if he's just been inserted into cutscenes in place of what should have been Elsa, so that he can eventually turn into some massive heartless and be the big bad.
Oh, okay.
Because he doesn't talk or anything, apparently. But I've not played it, so I can't comment. I mean,
Yeah.
Frozen's not my kind of film that much anyway, to be fair. But
Hey, Dobbie, do you mind if I drive?
I'd love you to. Let me find a nice place to pull over. Like this abandoned airfield.
Oh, Christ. Okay, yep. This. Right, yes, could have pulled over moments ago, but yeah, here we are. Wow.
What's that red circle?
We're in a gang area.
Uh-oh.
Why have you driven us to a gang area?
I didn't know it was.
Alright, just pull over. You can stop
I'm
the
gonna-
car.
Wait,
You
wait.
can
I'm
pull
gonna pull
over.
up here. Shut it.
Hit the brake.
Done. It's done.
Thank you. Wow, that was very kind of you. I can't believe you're letting me drive.
Well, I mean, just some convincing, apparently.
Now, I guess we're kind of wrapping up now, aren't we?
I think we are.
I can't think of anything else I've got to say.
Just to finish, I'm going to play Kingdom Hearts 3 eventually. Just
Oh,
'cause,
same,
you know,
yeah, totally.
I want to play it, but like, it does seem to have been not very well received. But I don't think it was ever going to be very well received this
It
late.
spent so long in development, didn't it? Oh, blimey, I'm a bit of a menace on the road, aren't I?
Yeah, well, don't worry. I mean, look at all that damage that's just happened to my perfectly clean car in that one crash, Neil.
Oops. Yeah, like, I kind of trust Craig's opinion on it. I say kind of, I mean, I do trust Craig's opinion on it, but I
less
still kind of
inclined.
want to play it, like...
I'm less inclined when it comes to Craig because Craig didn't like Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh yeah,
And
I'm on the same page. let's be real.
literally all it is for me.
I was playing Devil's Advocate, I don't give a beep
Yeah.
about Red Dead Redemption
I've already
2.
sworn, Neil. We're going to have to cut it.
Oh, when did you do that?
It's when we were talking about the story of Kingdom Hearts.
Oh,
I avoided
no.
it until that
I
part.
didn't even notice. How did I?
It might not be particularly noticeable because it was quite quiet
Oh,
from my voice. But
let's hope no one heard it.
yeah, that could be a little special 69 Easter egg for you all.
Oh, a little 69 Easter egg. That's
69.
a 69 Easter egg. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3. I will get around to it eventually. It's not on my priority, so until it goes cheap,
No.
which I don't know if it will. It sold a lot of copies. I don't know like the actual amount, but I know it sold well.
No, I mean Disney banner more than anything,
Yeah,
probably. That's
exactly.
the thing. Probably a lot of people are going into this thinking it's well, not a completely new game, obviously, but a lot of people who've never played Kingdom Hearts are going into it just because it's Disney. Likely, just the new generation of gamers to be a stupid idiot in what I say. Are probably going, "Hey, that looks cool. There's Frozen. I'll play that," and then
Yeah.
they have no idea what's going on.
Of course. I mean, to be fair, what we've played all the main ones, I guarantee I would not know what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, stuff on the Upside Down Shark website this week. Craig's done a list of the best Simpsons video games.
He has, following on from the worst he
ones.
did.
Yeah.
What, 3 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago,
Is
yeah.
it 3 weeks? Oh my god, is it really that
It
long
would be,
ago?
yeah.
There's controversial choices in there, I would say, potentially.
Yeah, well, he straight off the bat.
Yeah, that's
he talked
the
about
one I was. You know, most of them I'm completely fine with, but
Yeah.
the very first one, oh, I seem to have.
This
caused
orchard
damage.
open here.
I don't know.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I won't spoil it. You should go check it out and decide for yourself what you think of it. Wow, excuse me.
What else have we got coming up?
And then this the last comic I've put up for Video Game in HD is about Devil May Cry 2. I wrote a very quick little piece about what I thought about the game because I did enjoy it.
Oh.
But
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about it actually, yeah.
Yeah, who's up next? I guess it's yours?
No, it'd be you next.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I did Frank Turner the week
Oh,
before.
you're right, yeah. Blimey, that's coming around quick. Okay.
I think-
Up with something then.
I think I know what my next piece is, but it's completely escaped me what I was going to write about.
Maybe our initial thoughts on my piece this week. Spice World review.
Oh yeah, we mentioned that earlier. I personally think Spice World is better than Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
That's also a very controversial opinion. Ow.
But we'll save that for another day.
Yeah, maybe I'll scream about you when we're not in the chat.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess that's it for this week. Episode 69. Thanks for listening if you stuck around this far. Also, as me and Dobby always do when it's an episode with us, sorry.
Yeah, we're very sorry. I think we've been reasonably professional this time.
Yeah, I do
It
apologise
even
if you got
took me,
annoyed with
what?
the car noises the whole way
It
through.
took me a good half an hour to swear.
Yeah, that's good.
That's something of a miracle in its own way.
Yeah, so check us out at the usual places. UpsideDownShark.com,
Gonna fill
Facebook.
up, are we?
Yeah, just gonna fill up. Upside Down Shark Radio on Twitter. Is it just Upside Down Shark on Facebook?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If not, it'll be radio or pod. You'll find it. If you type Upside Down Shark, chances are you're gonna find it.
Yeah, unless you just Google it and you get pictures of sharks that are upside down.
Yeah.
Well, I think that pretty much covers it for this week. Anything you
Well,
want to say,
it's
quick?
gonna. I really, really love when the sun is out.